Welcome to 25 Days Tax Solution. My name is Tamna Nemitekena and I am a business and corporate lawyer. Prior to today, I said I was going to tell business owners and also private individuals about the tax reforms under 25 days. Now, not just going to tell them about it, I'm also going to give them practicable solutions and deliverables that they are going to use for their business in order to have good outcomes. Now, this is day one, and I want you to stay put while I build the foundation for you. You need to know the foundation before you get into the nitty gritty of it. Let's go. Now, prior to 2025, there were numerous tax laws in Nigeria. And based on the problems that came from that, because many businesses did not know of this tax law, so compliance was an issue. And also, aside compliance, it was not easy to keep up with the tax bodies, even with the regulators, right? So what they did in 2025 was to codify all these laws into four. One, two, three, four. Now, this NTA, it stands for the Nigerian Tax Act of 2025. And generally, what the NTA is for is to define what is taxable. So as a business owner or as a private individual, the NTA defines what is taxable to you, what can be taxed by the government that you, as a private individual or a business, you own. The second one is the Nigerian Tax Administration Act. The Nigerian Tax Administration Act states how and when businesses file. So it states how you will file, when you are going to file, the procedures to take. That is the second one. Now we have the NSR. The NSR is the Nigerian Service Revenue Act. It was formerly known as the Federal Inland Revenue Service Act, but now it's under NSR. So what they do is they enforce compliance digitally. They have platforms where they used to check if you as a business owner or as a private individual, you are compliant. And the last one is the Joint Revenue Board. What the Joint Revenue Board does is it coordinates federal and state obligations. So some people know that they have federal obligations as businesses or private individuals, but they don't know that they have state obligations. So that is what the JRB has come to do, to ensure that you know about these obligations. Now that that has been dealt with, let's delve into another part. What is the nexus? What is the connection between one, two, three, four, and how do they all receive commands at the same time? This is beneficial for you to know as a business owner. So you will not think that they are disjointed. You will not think that you fail to know one and then this other one too will not find out. So let me explain to you. The inter, that's the first one, state what is taxable. So it states all the taxes that you're meant to pay, right? This one now administers it. It shows when businesses are meant to file. So if you fail to file, you are going to have a penalty under this. This is the one that states your penalty. That this is the amount you were going to. I'm going to go into penalties later on in the coming days, but just know that if you fail to file, this is the body that says this is the amount you will pay if you fail to file. This is how you're going to file, and if you don't do it at this exact time, you're going to pay a certain sum. NSR, the Nigerian Service Revenue, it now goes online because businesses are online right now and they have a platform online, the NSR. So they go online to check if you are complying together with this. This one gives this one notice and this one checks. Now, this one now goes to check if you only did not comply to federal or you did not comply to federal and state. When this one finds out that you did not comply to federal and state, they notify this one and then they go into action. So it depends on how you did not comply. If you did not comply to federal, they still tell them. If you did not comply to state, they still tell them. So you see the nexus between these three bodies. Now, the next thing I want you to know, which is where I come in to help your business, is how do you ensure that you stay on track with these four bodies? You do not default as you ought to have. I have drafted out three fixes for you. The first fix is to map your activity. How do you map your activity? Now, we all know from what I explained earlier on that the NTA, which is the Nigerian Tax Act, states what is taxable. So what is taxable? Service tax, sales tax, capital gains tax, withholding tax, development tax, etc., etc. So note that there are more taxes than what I just stated. But once you bring out these taxes, all these taxes do not apply to all businesses, right? All businesses pay tax, but not all businesses pay exactly the same type of tax. So you need to also know the industry or the type of business you're in to know the type of tax you're going to pay. Now that you're done with this, the next is the INTA, that's the Nigerian Tax Administration Act. You will now find out how and when you're putting this out in a map, you're writing them out. You will now find out how and when your business is going to file rather. How would you file? What method are you using? When are you going to file? What is the time frame? Are you filing 21 days after the preceding month? Are you filing 14 days into a new month? Are you filing biannually? Are you filing annually? Are you filing monthly? Are you filing daily? You need to find out. This is where this one comes in. NSR enforces compliance digitally. You need to ensure that you are logged in and registered to their digital platform. When you're registered to their digital platform, it's easier for you to keep track of them or them to keep track of you and for you to also comply with them. ARB, the Joint Revenue Board. I've already explained that the Joint Revenue Board finds out if a business is supposed to be compliant to only federal law, state law, or both. So where you do your homework is you come and find out what type of business am I running? The type of business I'm running, is it only federal law I'm going to be compliant with, or I'm going to comply to federal and state law? Once you have this locked down, these four things I have stated, once you have mapped your activity, we go over to the next fix. The second fix is for you to pull record and spot gaps. So when you're pulling records and you're spotting the gaps, you will check, what do I need under this? Now, these people, this second one, what do I need to submit to them when I am filing my tax returns? What am I submitting to them? What contracts am I showing to them that this was the amount? What invoices am I showing to them? What records am I showing to them? This is where record keeping comes in. As a business owner, record keeping is one of your top priority before anything, because you would use your record to actually get incentives if you want. This is where you get your incentives sometimes. Now you can use your record to get incentives. You can use your record to even know the type of business you are running, whether you are running your business efficiently. So you need records. You need your records. You need your records. Because if this one tells this one will check to your records whether your federal and state, you are complying it to the records in federal and state. So you pull your records and you spot the missing gaps. That is the second one. Third one is where that passage of the Bible that says one will chase 1,000, but two will chase 10,000 comes in. The third one is where you need a team. You need a team. Whether you're a business owner, whether you're a company, or you're an IT, you need a team. We've already said that the first fix is for you to create a map of all this. The second fix is for you to spot the gaps and the missing records. Now, the third one is for you to assign owners and do a mock filing. So when you are holding a meeting in your office before the date, or as I'm done with this video, you can do that. You state the tax body you're filing to, the thing you are meant to file, the date you are meant to file, who is responsible for it. So if you're filing to the FRS, what are you filing? You're filing your VAT. What date are you filing? You're filing 21st of June, 21st of April, etc. Who is responsible for it? Abike. You can even create a last column penalty. What's the penalty if you do not file 15,000? Now, what is the penalty if Abike does not file? Because now you have assigned it to Abike, right? Abike will pay the 15,000, or Abike will pay half of the 15,000. This will create a balanced schedule in your office. Everybody will sit up if you do this. So these are the three fixes I will give to you for your business. Now, if you still need more clarity from me after all these have been said, you can book a 15 minutes call with me and I would readily answer all your questions. Like I said before in my first video on taxes, consultation is not free. But I hope you understood all I've said so far. I pray that this helps you to have a little direction, and I can't wait to see you on day 2. Stay tuned.